Gotta go slow. You gotta use small words, small sentences. Could you explain to me what Squelch is and why is it incorporated on your RFID reader?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest, I would say, obstacles or things that people bring up is when you have multiple lanes that are right next to each other and you have RFID readers that are right next to each other, how do you make sure that they're not going to be triggering the wrong gate, reading from behind or the side, or other vehicles that may also have tags but are not trying to gain access? So one of the things that we bring to the table is our Squelch functionality. So this basically, the RFID reader works, it outputs the electromagnetic field. So you have your read lobe, which is your read range, and the standard is going to be 30 feet. And you can adjust this down in increments of 1 from 0 to 100 on the user interface. So you can have it read 12 inches up to those 30 feet. But you also have a secondary definition for this read lobe, which is called Squelch. And you probably heard of this on a radio, and it's basically suppressing the radio frequency or adjusting it. So in the reader itself, you can define basically where you want the reader and the tag to communicate. So you can define a smaller area. So this not only helps to eliminate the risk of tailgating or multiple vehicles getting in with one single tag, but it also ensures that you have control over the length and width of the reading area. So you're not going to trigger the adjacent lane or lane next to it or any from the side or behind. So it just makes a very dense, saturated read lobe that's very focused on exactly and only where you want to read it.
We're talking, what, 5 or 6 or 7 readers on one site? I mean, how many readers can you have? How many have y'all done?
Yeah, so there's a difference between crosstalk and Squelch. So crosstalk would be all readers working on the same frequency being right next to each other. Because it hops from 902 to 928 megahertz, they're going to cycle around each other, so they're not going to interfere with each other. For example, we did Duke University. They have over 200 of our readers, and many of them were on islands at strange angles, back to back, and one of the reasons we won that project was the ability to offer the Squelch to make sure that only the lanes and the barriers that they wanted triggered worked.
Is it fair to say that Squelch in this application is defining the depth and width and, if you will, shape of the pattern?
Yep, exactly. So it's basically just your control over where the reader's reading and the electromagnetic output that it has.